All
Okay,
right.
that's good.
Yeah. Can you stream your perspective so we can watch the game?
Yeah, either stream your Tenho or the
Also, our audio just
OBS.
went live on the stream.
Yeah, if you hit the mic in the OBS to like mute, and stream will be What is going on, everybody? No, it was a bit of a jump, but we have finally found our player. We are finally ready to get started. Got some exciting A2 action to begin tonight. I am Harrison, otherwise known as Suizo, joined by Lucas, otherwise Navitas. How's it hanging?
Hey, good evening, Harrison. Looking forward to finally getting to cast some of these games here. Got a little bit of a delay, but glad the matches are finally starting here. Looks like we should be starting in just about a minute here, but real quickly, we can look at these standings. So in this match, we're gonna have, let's see, we have
We got
Huang.
Joe,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Matthew, Matthias, and Huang. So Huang and Matthias, they're hovering like minus 50, minus 60 right now. They're on the chopping block as it stands in B1. Or no, in A2. So they're on pace to go to B1 as it stands at the moment. Obviously, still a lot of games to play, but they really are going to want some good first, kind of bring them out of it. And then Joe is sitting very comfortably at the top with Matthew M. Not quite as comfortable, looking to kind of edge in that promotion zone at about plus 70 right now. Some big hits to Joe here and some plus points for Matthew would be absolutely huge for trying to get into that A1 zone.
Yeah, definitely some important matches here coming towards the end of the season. Just a handful of games left. Looks like there are matches underway here. If we can switch over. Oh, we do actually have a player disconnect. Okay, no, they did reconnect.
Yeah, hopefully they're coming back.
So yeah, Gimmick here starting as the first dealer. And does have one of the Dora. Could maybe try to open up with a Tanya as well. See what direction he wants to take this hand here.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I mean, there's a lot of solid base, but you're kind of just gonna spend your first couple of turns decluttering like many hands do. You have the really good Dorian to play off of. The only clunky thing kind of being that you got two pairs, and one of them kind of runs into your Ryanman, but you get a nice floater or two like that Tuso, and you're gonna find yourself with a very quick, very nice Pinfu just to push his dealer.
Yeah, Pinfu also could maybe cheat Forso if you're interested in trying to speed this hand up a bit. Does draw now the 8
Yeah.
pin as well to continue to advance this hand here.
Yeah, Dora locked and loaded. Definitely love to see that. Could see either pair call too, I'd imagine, from Huang. Although if you just draw perfectly, what's the point?
Matthias' hand is also looking really nice. Actually, Ishan
Yeah.
10 for E2 over there, and also has one of the Dora 7 pin. Is actually really wide. It's a Kutsuki Ishan 10 with the Nakabakuri, the 5667, as well as the extended Pinzu shape there.
Yeah.
Get a
Nice
chance
part
at the
being
E2.
too doesn't have to commit to the E2. Already has the Dora in hand, so potentially if you draw around the Manzu,
Well, there's
just like this
Tempai. I imagine
5,
we
yeah.
just take a Ricci now.
Each.
Not gonna be
What are we gonna
Pinfu
see?
because of the Norse, but I mean you're pretty happy with Dora 1 impossible Epiko reach here.
Yeah, waiting on the 4-mon, 7-mon. And we do see at least one 4-mon as well as one 7-mon left in the wall.
Yeah, still some time to get out. Could even potentially see them getting thrown. I imagine Joe is probably going to opt to play really defensive.
Well, you say that, but Joe was interested in
But
pushing a little bit, at least if that Forso.
yeah,
Did have like some, could have gone for like
well,
the 2-pin
I don't think
Suji, maybe not trusting the fact that it's off the Ricci
the
top.
reach style. Yeah, I was gonna say there's not too much shape here to work with. I always
But-
hate like when it's that early. You might be able to trust the Suji on the reach style a little bit more, but like again, if it's 1-3-5, you're gonna hate throwing that 2 and dealing in with it.
Right, but it's still, it is still definitely a push for. So like you could have gone 8-so as well if you wanted to fight, would have been significantly safer, but didn't end up passing.
Each.
So here's the tempo, and this is actually going to deal in here with the 4-mon,
Dong.
fortunately. So that is on the Yasume side. Let's see if there's any Ura. Not just going to be Ricci Dora 1.
But I mean, even just shutting out Huang there is super big for Matthew. I'm sure they're more than happy. Huang had a very, very good 3-sided wit, and that would have been a ton of value right away as dealer.
Yeah, so now Matthew's dealership, and not the best hand. Does have like a nice Manzu shape and then the pair and the two pay, but the rest of the hand does definitely need some development here.
It's clunky, yeah. And I mean, honestly, the only speed I'm really seeing is kind of Matthias.
Yeah, that hand
There.
definitely, again, looking pretty quick there.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
with that Forso draw as well, really nice. So
Shanten, yeah.
you're gonna go ahead and drop the pay pair.
Makes sense. I mean, it's safer later, but
Yeah. Still 2 Shanten, but it is a nice hand. You even have chances again at an Ipeko as well.
Dora looks pretty locked and loaded with that 4-5 shape too. Although everyone's starting to shape up a little bit. Now Huang's hand doesn't look too far off. Matthew's hand is, you know, started to make some shape and approach getting a dealer repeat, but still very, very slow compared to the rest of the board.
The Dora Forso draw there is quite nice. Does give you that Ryangkan shape, as well as adding some value with the Dora.
Yeah, but again, in the battle of speed, it looks like Matthew is just gonna get beaten out straight up. Still drawing a bunch of clunky honors here and there too. 3 Sumogiris from the initial calling in the hand. It's just honors and terminals on an already pretty far away hand.
Huang does pick up an Anko there, so Huang moving into 2 Shanten here. Or actually, Shanten, that's a 5-pin pair.
Yeah, that's gonna be really big for Huang too, because now with 6P you're able, yeah,
Each.
just like that. Now you're able to add Tanyao, increase the value a little bit. Have 3 3s out, which isn't great, but you have the 8s to kind of hopefully make 6-0 a little bit more useless. Try to get it from somebody. Could also just hope to be kind of breaking the board, having everybody fold out to try to avoid dealing in.
Ias does have a nice Ishanten here, so see if they're interested in chasing at all. There's actually Tempai if you're willing to push 5-so. Would
Each.
be Richi Tanyo Pinfu.
He's gonna
And again
opt
has that
to.
chance at that Ipeko as well.
I mean, I'll tell you what, 3-6 Manzu looks a lot better on this board than 3-6 Sozu, I'd say.
So 3-6 Mon versus the 3-6 So. Here's one of the
Ooh.
3 Mon.
Yeah, Matthew
So-
keeps drawing all the dangerous, and Matthew's hand's so far away, even as dealer, I'd
Yeah,
imagine
definitely
you
just trying to
have
find the
fold
safest
out.
tile, like 9-pin. Looks like it should be somewhat
Probably
safe.
double 1 Mon, I think. Seems right.
Is there?
There's one
don't
in
think
front of
there's-
Matthew, but I think it's technically
I
unchecked
think
against
probably we're gonna
Huang,
see a
but
9-pin. Yeah, we're just gonna see the 9-pin Suji come out.
9-pin's not terrible. Little sussed out, there's none on the board yet, but when someone opens up with a reach too, you're not exactly able to check every single tile that should be safe.
So we'll just be 2 players Tempai here.
Ooh, speeding into East 3, Joe does not have the best opener either.
Does have
Does
a chance
have-
at Honitsu if you draw well here.
That's true.
Especially like another honor. I kind of would have liked the idea of maybe dropping like a 7-mon there and just make Honitsu a little bit easier. But instead, just gonna go for efficiency. Just gonna drop the wins here.
Makes sense. I think the problem with a hand like this too is that Tanyao even feels so far out of reach with like the shape you have that just cutting wins even feels bad.
Well, it's not too far because like you're looking to get rid of 9-so anyways, so
Yeah.
definitely could. We did see Matthias did or Matthew rather did open for the Pei Yaku High. Just trying to get a Pei Nomi.
Yeah, quick hand, snuff everybody else out.
There is
Gonna
the
be
2 Richi
Ishanten.
sticks in the middle as well though, so it does make winning a quick hand a little bit more appealing.
Yeah, I got 2300 tip, little cherry on top as for whatever else you get. So definitely not going to be too bad of a hand for
You
Matthew.
see Huang looks like going for a Junshan here. Is actually starting to get a bit close. Looks like the hand is currently Ishanten actually.
Yeah,
For
looking for
Junshan
7, so
Sanshoku.
8
So
mon.
definitely a hand to look for. Draws Dora. Kind of an interesting draw. Because you have to sort of choose between Sanshoku and Dora. Actually, is going to hold Dora, just drop the 1-mon there.
Yeah, it's really ugly because you just dropped the 3 mon too and kind of committed to playing away from Dora. So like you're
Yeah.
in Furry 10 too if you do get one of the other pieces. Surprised,
is-
honestly, Huang's deciding to play it so long, with Junchan being the same value as Dora pair. Oh, Joe draws Noon, Anko the 4s too. All of a sudden, Ishan 10, not looking like they're going to end up on the best weight. Looking like 4P at the moment, but time to get some upgrades. And could also just Dama if they find the 6 Mon on a Tanyao angle. Oh, but that is going to be a huge upgrade. That's going to open up 4-7P for
Actually,
Joe, but Joe doesn't
yeah,
want it.
perhaps
Interesting.
scared of like a maybe Pinzu Honitsu or something. I'm not sure. Seems to
Yeah,
be a
that looks like
defensive
the raid
play.
for that. And I mean, you
Or
still
it
get your
also
shapes
it does make
there.
Tanyao a little bit like confirmed.
Yeah, but
But it
again,
is quite a
4P
bit
is so
slower.
tough on the board too. You already got 2 out, and it's a 4P regardless, so it's gonna be really hard as
There's
that
gonna be
happens.
the
Found
Tempai
a
drawn
Tempai.
here.
Done.
And it
Immediately
does deal
dumping.
into it. Yeah.
Overflow happens to play, and again, only 1 Han, but you get that bonus in the middle, so now you're not looking too far behind. Obviously, nobody's really pulled out ahead at all this game, but everybody's always 1 hand away, and honestly, Matthias looks like the best proponent to pull ahead. This is an amazing starter for the hand. Great shape,
really
Grommet
nice.
Sabut, Tanyao has a chance to draw Dora and play it really easily.
Yeah, you are Ishanten for not Tanyao, but if you draw around like 3-pin or any sort of middle Pinzu, you can end up dropping the 9-pin and shifting towards Tanyao as well.
Yeah. Or even if you draw the 8, you could just decide to like go down a Shanten, because there's pretty much, or there's no way you'll end up in Furry 10, so gives you
Actually,
some
don't
options.
mind too much just discarding 9-pin there for keeping the 3-so and just heading
Yeah.
for Tanyao. You're basically looking to try to draw another pair so you can use the 3-4 Ryamen, and then you have the 6-6-6-7 and the 3-4-4-4 shape to try to find a pair.
Yeah,
The
I like
2
both of those
Ryantons.
options a lot.
But just gonna keep the Ishan 10, going for the most efficient path forward.
It's fair. Daily Reach is so scary too that like kind of throwing it out on the board does do a lot to guarantee having a repeat, but there's the backfire in that. You draw around
He's
the Monzu and then you're gonna
starting
throw
to
it.
draw a lot of Monzu, also keeping the 4-pin pair for maybe a Chitoi as well. But I would imagine the hand's looking to try to go just Chinitsu.
Yeah, I mean you're at 5 pairs, so you're Ishanten, but definitely trying to pull the extra value on top with the Chinitsu would be nice.
There's the
Yeet.
Tempai, and it's definitely just gonna be a Ricci here. So just Ricci with a chance at Dora.
Hanzo looking so expensive on this board though. I'd imagine everybody's gonna play 5-8 Mon. Huang can fit it right in.
This does make it
Joe's-
awkward for Matthew because 4-pin looks so dangerous against this Ricci. Might shut down this Chinitsu.
Yeah. Although 7 gets pushed, that's 1. If you get a 1P on the board, it's just Nakasuji. Doesn't look great, but
Now we're just gonna see the Formon come out. Maybe try for a Chitoi Mawashi, but the Pinzus look too difficult to push.
yeah. Even the 6 looking very, very bad.
Well, the 6-so is Nakasuji, but we're gonna start with just the 1 Monsuji first. So it looks like
Yeah,
just
well, I
a
was talking
fold.
about 6P and even the 6P
Oh,
being the
sure,
half
yeah.
Suji. But yeah, I guess just fully trying the 1s. Definitely a bit of a safer Suji, even than the Naka with a board like this. Curious to see how far Huang's gonna go with the Mawashi. And if they're gonna try to save it.
Well, that looks like they're just gonna try to fold out the 6-so there.
Yeah. Can't really come back from that. That's 1 full meld. And the nice part about it is you do get 3 safe tiles after you prove 1. But there's no hope getting back to Yukoku. I think everybody's pretty much just giving up at the moment. Just trying to get to next hand, not give any points to Matthias.
No one really has a chance of getting to Tempai at this point.
Wow,
There
and
you
an
go.
8 and a 5 stuck in the wall too.
So another repeat and another nice hand here with the 2 Onkos again, one being the Chun.
It's
So it
nice,
does
but
have a
it's also
Yakuhai here.
little bit of clunk. You do get to play the quick, easy Yakuai out, get your reach stick back. Not worth a lot, but it's something.
You could maybe end up going Toy Toy here. You do have like 2 Onkos and a pair, so if you end up
You
lucky
draw
enough to
another
pair up
one,
a
you can
couple of
do
the
it.
tiles. Or you could also
I
have a
mean,
chance to draw 7 Sodora as well for some value.
yeah, Tuso is pretty reasonable to get out too. If you draw like 5 and 6 pair with anything in your hand, then it gets a little ugly just because like even one of those is going to be hard to get out. But if like the Tuso gets clunk or gets stuck in somebody else's hand, then you have to get both. But I'd imagine with 4, 5, 6 filling in right there, we're just gonna hard commit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about playing the 8, so
8-so would be more efficient than 5-pin because you're like Kutsuki Ishanten, so you want to keep like middle floating tiles.
yeah.
Oh, 7-mon's incredible. We have to drop 8-so here. Yeah, okay, that's good.
Oh yeah. I
So
just thought
really
that
wide
like 5 and
Ishanten
8's
here.
kind of redundant.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
No, it's it would have been better to cut 8-so last turn, but keeping it for Dora acceptance, but I think 5-so can accept Dora just fine.
No, yeah, you force it either way. I think you either drop 5 so a little bit earlier because it's safer and you can commit with the 8 if you draw Dora and then you get the round
Boom.
then, or just keep the 5 because you might get a good floating 4 and then just you sacrifice Dora if you get it.
Joe is also Kutsuki Ishanten now as well. So 2 wide Ishantens here. Oh, that's gonna be
Each.
Tenpai. Now we're gonna reach you. We sure are.
Oh
Summon
yeah, on the
Riichi.
3-sided, 100%.
So Riichi Chun.
Yeah, both
Would
cons are
be
gonna be
would be a
dead,
50
but
Fu Ron, so some decent value.
it's gonna be nice. Monzi's still looking really expensive on this board, kind of like last hand. But there's so many to draw. We got 2 2s in it. There are no 8s on the board at all yet. Still a 5 left in the wall. It's just a matter of time before Matthias gets the tile. I don't think anybody's really going to be able to challenge. Joe's backed up too, I think, a little bit after the
Oh,
reach
Joe's
was
actually
called.
Tenpai right here, and is gonna push the 2-pin. So 4-mon, 5-mon Champon wait, trying to shut this down.
Could potentially see a double run on 5-mon, but why somebody would drop that, I could not tell you.
I might see the 4-mon come out here. Or 9-mon actually, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, 9-mon adds
Waiting
up.
at 3-mon, 6-mon here.
Looks much, much safer. And then potentially if you draw something bad that you don't really want to push, you could also just drop double 9, fold out that way.
Oh,
Ooh.
could
Could drop the 4 to free 10.
probably just
but
gonna
it's
be
really
2-mon
bad.
dealing. Yeah, it is gonna
Yeah.
actually deal in here. See if there's any Ura here. It's not, but it is still 4,800 with that 50 fur there. As well as one Homba.
Big deal. Get all your points that you invested last turn back. Widen the gap you have.
And not quite as fast as the other one, but does still have some nice Sozu shapes, as well as maybe 3 pairs for a Chitoi if we continue to draw more. Gimmick
Yeah.
also seems to have a pretty good hand. Does have the 8-pin Anko. Looks like could open for a Tanyao if they're interested. And did also fill into that Monzu shape. Although maybe Matthias is or Matthew is going to be the first one to Tenpai here.
Wow, Matthews Ishan 10 already, right?
Yeah.
Looking for 7-mon or something around that Sozu.
Yeah, it's
Could
another
potentially have like a
Kutsuki
6-7-mon
Ishanten
weight.
with the 6-mon 3 Sos here, floating tiles.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, we haven't seen any Dora hit a player's hand too, so.
Well, speaking
Joe
of the
will
Dora,
get the
there's one of them.
first. It'll be interesting to see once Riichi's flying hit the board and nobody's checked it, how the players will react when they draw one. Suppose always what is most likely to happen is whoever's in reach ends up dropping
Oh,
the
Gimmick
white.
draws
and
into
then
Tenpai here.
somebody
This is actually
goes.
double and Tiltsu, so it's a 4-sided weight here. 5 8-pin and 5 8 So. Cool weight
Yeah,
for
don't see
Riichi
that all the
Tanyao.
time. Yeah, not worth the most, but you know, not too bad.
It's
You
a fun
get
four-sided
double
weight.
ramen pairs, yeah.
We do see Matthew still trying to fight here a little bit, and actually draws into Tempai.
リーチ
And gonna chase Ricci here. Taking a Toltsu of his own here. 5-8
Sumo.
on Tuso. And Ipatsumo on the 5-mon. Ricci, Tanyao, Ipatsu, Tsumo for the Mangan.
No BM era, don't need it. Just gonna take our Mangan and go on. And now all of a sudden, Matthew pulls ahead at the end of East 1.
Shutting
Gets
down Gimmicks
just
Ricci
ahead.
there.
Yeah, Wong not really with a decent chance at getting a dealer repeat either for this time. You're gonna need to hit a very, very good fill-in, probably 2 very good fill-ins in order to play this hand and be faster than anybody else. See a bunch of
Perhaps
the
a bit on the
dragons
slower
flying
side.
too.
Matthew looks like they have another nice hand.
Matthew very, very
Considering
quick. Still
cutting
has a
Dora
little bit of
here,
slot.
we might see it come out. Debating if they want to keep a floating tile or the Dora. It does end up deciding to drop the Dora there. I like it. I think this hand needs all the floating tiles.
Yeah, I mean, I think with you being up 2 as well, and you have like more time until Matthias gets dealership, you kind of just want to keep board value low. So I like just having someone either commit to the door right now and you know you can avoid them, or just having it pass and have less chance of being played by anybody by the end of the hand.
Okay, he's
It does
actually
kind of
Ishan
suck
10
because
at the
it's free
moment.
Mangan, but what are you gonna do? Ooh, and Huang's actually filling in quite a lot, looking not quite Ishan 10, but very close.
A-pin was a pretty nice draw there to give you another ramen to work with, just locking the 3-so as the pair.
Yeah, 6-9 not looking too great though. Already 3 9s to hit the board. And 6s already all locked in hand, so could be disastrous for Huang. They end up waiting on that. Nobody else really filled in either. Joe's still trying to shape up. Hasn't been hitting the best of draws.
Matthew's
Tyus
with
still
the nice
looking.
hand at the moment, at least, with a pretty nice Ishan 10.
Yeah.
You have chances at Ipeko or maybe like an Intotsu Ricci, depending on what happens.
Yeah, those would be quite nice, even just the 2-5 roundmen, try to scare people back a little bit.
Chi
You even have Sanshoku chance if you can get the 5-so in the 3-pin. I do see Huang opening up for a Tanyao here. Aozuke Tempei for the 6-pin. Although that is locked up in the moment in Matthew's hand. Although if a
Gee.
5-pin is drawn, I imagine we would see the 6-pin come out.
Yeah, I would think you would have to with a hand like that. I still think I like here, like, Sozu looks so cheap on this board. Or it looks
リーチ
cheap enough. I kind of like taking the 3-so and then the off 7 if
Oh,
you
actually,
really
so it
need
does
to.
draw the 3-pins. It does have the Sanshoku chance here. Waiting 2-so, 5-so, 5-so for the Sanshoku.
Ooh, now we got some resistance. Wong's gonna have a much harder
Each.
time getting a 6P, which is
I
now
see a-
actually completely
I see a
dead.
Chase Ricci from Joe here as well. Taking the Champon Ricci for Ricci Nomi. But trying to fight for some points here from last place.
Wong is gonna brave, try to get some Ryukoku points. Gonna work out well.
There are, well, actually, that was the end of the wall, but there were still 2 5-so stuck in the wall there. Didn't get to see it come out. So we'll have another
Ooh.
repeat, and pretty
This
nice
looks
hand
like a
here from
much
Gimmick.
more solid start. Yeah, 2 full melds completed. Dora paired. Another hanging roundman.
You even have chances at Sanshoku if you can draw around the 3-mon as well.
Oh yeah, just an amazing hand. Nobody else really looking too quick. That'll help a lot for Matthew.
Joe has
but
like a
still
chance at a
leads
Chanta
behind.
here, and does look like they want to go for it with that 6-0 cut.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine. I also don't hate the idea of trying to force like a Honitu. But
Yeah,
if you're
that
gonna
could
make
be another
efficient
idea there. You could
cuts,
start with like 4-mon then. Try to keep both
yeah,
options open. But looks like just committing for that Chanta. Gimmick
could even
already.
say cheat toy, toy, something like that.
Sure, yeah, it does have a couple pairs to work with. But yeah, Gimmick's kind of looking really nice here. Ishan 10 with Dora 2. Play the hand to watch out for.
If you're Huang here, I almost kind of like ditching the 2-so now and just committing to the double Yronman,
Boom.
because even though it technically limits your tiles,
Yeah,
it's
the
not
problem
that
there is
much, and
if you draw the door, you're just so sad.
yeah, if you draw, but you could always technically like Tonki on something later. And the thing is, I like obscuring the reach a little
Yeet.
bit more here. Like if you draw 4-17 and then reach on like a 2-so
Well,
or a 3-so, then I don't think they're quite coming out.
you did see the future there. That ended up being a Chitoy from Joe, waiting on the 9, so it is Suji trapped. Do we have anything? Oh yeah, it's gonna cut the 9-mon Suji first. But we might see a deal in here from Matthew.
Yeah, that 9-so looks pretty protected. You got double 8s too. Although the discards in front of Joe are pretty weird, so
Yeah,
maybe I'm thinking there's a sneaky
could go
Chitoy.
for like 4-mon, 6-so. Does have tiles to play around with.
Hong, importantly, not going to put any more pressure on the board, looking to sneakily hit
Yeah, actually
somebody
did get
with a
into Dama
Mongon.
Tenpai here.
Yep, 1-4-so. That'll be
I
the
feel
Mongon, I think,
pretty
right? Pinfu
surprised.
Doratu.
No, because this is not a Mongon. You would need a Ricci.
Pinfu Doratu. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm actually
What's up,
surprised
Owen?
we don't see a Ricci here. It's not like the tiles you're waiting on are particularly safe from Joe, so I don't really see a lot of value from the Dama.
Chi.
I would just Ricci to make this a Mongon. But the
Boom.
1-so does come out, so I guess maybe the Dama works here. Does get the 5800 roll, but also picks up some 6 in the middle as well. And that is enough to go above 30,000 here.
Yeah, gonna hop trade with Matthias.
This hand not as good as the last one, but especially after 7-so draw, it definitely could work something. Maybe even E2 and Monzu if you draw really well. Has the 8-pin to accept a 9-pin door draw. Matthias's hand though is looking quite fast. Actually, already Ishan 10 with the Dora 1 there. Pretty big draw for Gimmick there, pairing up the Tolm. So now does have a chance to maybe call if you want. Although it doesn't have another pair quite yet. There's
Yeet.
Tenpai, and we are just going to immediately slam. So 7-pin Penchon for Ricci Dora 1.
Not too bad. I think the weight's going to be a little bit tough, but you find a 4-pin on the board or something, might be able to get somebody on a Suji later on, especially if they're looking to push a little bit aggressively.
Gimmick looks like he is interested in fighting. Yeah, cutting the 9-mon, 1-mon here, trying to defend the dealership here. You do
Makes
have
sense.
the
You get the
option to
east
call
near
east into
Tenpai,
Tenpai.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you just draw into it, doesn't look bad at all.
Boom.
And there is the east. So now 4-pin Tenpai. 4-pin
Yeah.
completely locked up in the hands here. There is still one 7-pin left on the wall.
Wangla does have double upgrades in order to get through Onmans, though. Can find 6-pin or 2-pin, or to play a little bit better of a Tenpai. I guess 4-pin could come out here, but I doubt it from Joe.
Yeah, the only reason would be, I mean, I feel like you can maybe fight like a Cheeto if you want to do something now. Just actually gonna cut 8, so although I'm not sure why 8-so looked safe. So it looks pretty dangerous against the board. think if you're
Yeah,
gonna cut
it's
something
a little too
dangerous, you might as
bad.
well like push a Chitoy, but maybe things like a Tanyo is better. But then that does mean you have to end up cutting the Dora.
I mean, could just be Sixth Sense too. Could think, nah, for some reason Sozu's not feeling right, but or Sozu feels fine, but Pinzu, something weird is dangerous there, or even maybe on the Manzu.
It does give you 2 turns of safety if it does pass. So that's something.
Matthew gonna be wiggling around too.
See if Joe wants to push here at all. Is actually willing to push the 6-0. But definitely trying to fight for Tenpai here.
Ooh, Huang gonna switch
It's a
up.
chance to call the Tenpai. Are you willing to push Dora though? Yeah, not willing to even call because I'm unwilling to push the Dora. Yeah, and I feel like if you're gonna do all the pushing of the tiles earlier, like Suji Dora is like a lot less dangerous than say the 6-0.
Yeah,
So-
especially when the reach is that early. I'm a little sussed out for
Reach.
Huang.
Well, here's the Tenpai.
Well, I don't know about hitting reach on that. Oh, that could be dealing.
It is Suji, but let's see. No, I was actually just gonna cut the 1 pin. So it's pretty scary to trust the Suji to the Riichi tile, especially that late against 2 Riichis. Good thing as well. Let's dodge the dealing.
Yeah, did end up getting past. Very good for Huang to not have to pay those points, but going to need a little bit of a jumper here. Good news is there's 2,900 points in the middle, so anybody is pretty available to take them. Not too much speed going around the table. Matthew gonna be shaping up for a minute. Joe has the Akuhai pair to call, but not too much buffering it after that. Matthias does have some nice pairs, has some good toy callouts, but again, very clunky, needs some fill-ins. And Huang actually probably looking the best on this table. Fills in the 6, 7, 8 round meld. Has a completed one in Manzu, looking for another. Sitting firmly in Ishanten.
A pretty nice hand for sure. Did have some nice draws, filled in a Kanchan and then a Ryomen as well. Put himself at Ishanten.
Joe is going to opt to take the aggressive open up. Does give the ability to call one so like that, help the hand out a little bit, but still sitting Ishanten even after 2 calls, no Dora in hand, so very risky if a reach is played on the table or any turbulence.
I think it's fine though, especially with the 2,900 points in the middle.
Yeah. Could end up working out. We're Tenpai on 4-so right now, only 1 to hit the board. Do have Yanmin upgrades 2 ways, although you're not too thrilled with the 2-so. It's only 1-1-so left. Matthew still trying to wiggle the Tenpai. He's found pretty much every draw except the one that gets him there. Still Ishanten even after all these, with all this great shape in the middle, just can't fill in the important ones. Can only draw around stuff that's already existing in the hand.
Let's switch to a Ryomen, which just gives you 1 extra tile of acceptance here. Getting the 1-so as well now.
Yeah, I almost kind of like just keeping the 5, because I think the 1-so doesn't even particularly look too good right now. Or look unusable for anybody. And if you get that 6-so, it's so much bigger if you can get 4 8-so.
Yeah, but even just 1 tile does make quite a bit of difference. So I agree with just taking the wider weight here. Matthew's hand just
Sumo.
can't quite get there here. Oh, that does force out Sumo there for Joe, so does start to get some points, so maybe the start of a comeback here as it moves on to his dealership.
Yep. Picks up that 4K will be very nice. Helps even out the board. Helps buffer the way for a comeback, a good dealer run. Especially with a hand like this, you're not going to
Yeah.
complain too hard at all.
For sure. I would have liked to see
Sitting-
Naimon come out first just for the door acceptance, but it is a nice hand here.
Yeah, starting round Sean 10, especially when you have such good shapes to play around, you're never hating. Could potentially end in a 3-sided now too. You feeling around the Manzu and the Sozu. Although if you're just gonna draw the Anko of 3-so, imagine we'll see 7P be the pair played.
Yep, Ishan 10 now.
Around the table, it looks like Matthias is one of the people looking to challenge. Although nobody really has bad hands right now. Matthias with a 7-8-9 mil completed the 1-2-3. Bit of clunky shape around it. Matthew to dealer Kamicha on the left has an amazing shape. Gonna have a 3-sided and then a terminal included Roundmen right around Dora. Sitting in Ishan 10.
Now even wider. Now you have headless Ishan 10 with the summon Sham shape is just incredibly wide.
Oh, there's so many things that get in the Tenpai. Although Joe will slightly beat out, I'd imagine we'll see AP drop for the 4-7 reach.
Any tile 2 through 8 mon or 1
Ooh.
through 4 pin, and you have good weight Tenpai.
Joe passed up Tenpai there. Wants Pinzu. Or Pinfu.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that one. I definitely
I
would
think
just
it's-
take the Ricci here.
Especially as dealer. If you're not dealer, I don't hate greeting a little bit more, but like just the pressure you put on the board, especially from where you're at, is so important here.
Well, Pinfu is not even necessarily that valuable. It's only like half a Han extra of value, so I definitely don't think it's worth breaking Tenpai for.
1
So it does get Tenpai back, so I guess it worked out here. It does now have the Pinfu.
Oh, see, Joe read the wall, so we're actually about to see
Each.
Ricci, Pot, Sumo, Pinfu, and then an Ura for the Mangan.
We're going to see Matthias chase here as well. Just taking the Intotsu weight.
ロン
And does actually deal into the force hook. So there you go. Picks up the Pinfu. No extra value, but pretty important win there to win that Ricci battle. I don't know if you saw Harrison, but apparently you're echoing a little bit.
Yeah,
You
trying
sound
to
fine
have
to me,
fix that.
so I wonder if it's something to do with the stream.
Yeah, a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm not quite sure what was going on. Maybe it's fixed now too. I was hearing it a little bit here and there, but I think I'm fine at the moment. Well, let's get a load of this high pie. So Joe wins that last one, not the most value, but just a little bit.
Oh, actually, like committing for this Chinitsu here. Just cutting the 5 mon. I feel like maybe I want to keep myself a little bit open, but we'll see. I imagine that's the idea here. Although maybe he draws 6-9, so you still consider just going for Ricci.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, it's a very like risky pressuring move, but the benefit to it being that you kind of just lock down a suit and everybody like has to directly challenge you and push if they want to drop Pinzu after a certain point. Your problem being you're end of first row now and you still don't have a Pinzu open call. You still don't have anything like trying to prove that you are running Pinzu, Chinitsu, or Honitsu. So you're running out of time
Chi.
very quick.
We do already have a couple of Ishan 10s, though. Actually...
1
Oh, see, that's gonna be Tenpai from Matthew, and then Matthias. Oh, actually, we're gonna
Dom.
see the 6-man come out of here, so that's gonna end the hand.
Yep.
So it just gets the Haku, but does put Matthew into lead and all last here.
Quick dirty one, Han. Just get your points, take them while you got them. Send it off to the next. Try to retain this first place, and if you can somehow bring Huang below 30k, it'll be a massive first at that.
ポン
See what Matthias can do here with the last dealership, trying to get themselves out of last place here.
It's gonna be tough though. Huang's already called to open with a Yaku high. Shape isn't quite there. You're really gonna need to hit like 5P 7 so and then end in like a Shabo or something.
See, 9 will come out from Matthew, perhaps trying to go for a Tanyo here to end this game. Although you do have the 1-3 Kanchan at the moment. Pretty important draw on the 3-so there for Matthias. Does
That
bring
is
this
a
hand to
super
Ishan
big
10.
felon. Yeah, and I mean any reach here from dealer is gonna do a lot to deter the rest of the board. Give him a little bit more time to try to bring this back.
7
We also see Ishan 10 from Joe. It's actually a wide Kutsuki Ishan 10 here. And we do see Matthew opening up for that Tanyo.
Okay, Matthew gonna value
There's
again.
Tenpai for Joe. Are we going to
Long
see a
down the
Ricci
line.
here or just going to take the Dama Tanyo? It's actually just going to take the Dama Tanyo. So this isn't quite enough to get above 30,000 without the Ricci. Well,
I think
we're
you
gonna see the
pass,
wrong, yeah, and you're gonna be kind of sad. I feel like you just take this. If you, it doesn't
I
really
mean,
make a lot.
at this
It's actually it's
point,
gonna skip. Interesting.
could you
So
see-
you do get above 30,000 on sumo, but if your idea is to skip Ron, I would just Ricci. I don't really understand this.
1
That's what I guess maybe the idea is you don't want to deter Matthias
Each.
here
Well, you have a
from
chance
getting
for.
Rikoku.
So are you gonna take pin
but
for Ricci now? Okay, so it's gonna go for the pin for Ricci now.
yeah, Pinfu would be enough.
1
Although if you lose Tanya, then it doesn't. It's the same as what you just did. It's worse because you have less Fu.
Right, but this still will be enough. You'll have the Ricci pin for Dora. Will be enough to get above 30,000.
Yeah, but
mean,
Reach
this-
Tanya Dora would have been the same thing, right?
Yes. Yeah, if you took the reach. But decided, I guess, that maybe the 1-4 weight looked a little bit better, which I think I agree with.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're also
Long
chasing with
Trunks
the
danger.
Ricci pin for Dora as well.
Ooh. 5 pin.
Wrong.
Yeah,
5
it
pin does
doesn't
come out,
come
yeah.
out.
I
mean,
the 10-5. Does end up dealing it. Oh, and a big Ura as well.
Ooh.
By Mongon.
That is insane. Now all of a sudden Huang's feeling terrible, and Matthias very, very good chance to try to retain first or try to get first. Mongon was huge.
Well, does have a pretty interesting hand. Looking, it does have like a lot of honor tiles. He's maybe gonna try to go for a Honitsu. And although actually it does just discard the Hatsu here after seeing it be twice cut. You do have like the Dora 5 pin. So you could go like, well actually now being Mochi Mochi on the Haku is really gonna slow down Wong here.
Yeah, I think no matter what, you kind of just like jam a high value hand though. You do something with the Pinzu, maybe an Itsu, or maybe even try to make a Honitsu, because you need so many points, and like
Yeah,
definitely the
looking-
game's gonna end soon, so you gotta do something quick.
Is trying continue to draw some Pinzu, and yeah, where you see the 2-4 come out, so just committing to this Honitsu here.
Makes sense, although everybody's hand is pretty quick. Interesting cut from Matthew there. I would have thought maybe double 1 Mon comes out. That way if you draw a 4-so, you might be able to lean into Tanya just a little bit easier.
Yeah, but 1 Mon, if you look at the board, is like 8 pins being once cut, first of all, and then also you see like Shimocho cutting a lot of lower Manzu as well as Kamicha, so the 1 Mon weight looks much better than 8 pin.
It's fair. Also much safer later game, I'd imagine.
That as well, yes.
Could even,
Just-
I guess, throw a double 8 Mon here.
Yeah,
keep
we are going
going
to see the
for
1 Mon come out
later.
now, though, after
Yeah.
drawing the Pinzu. Another Pinzu draw from Huang. See how far this Honitsu can get. Unfortunately, that Haku being locked up in Matthias's hand does make this difficult. Are we actually going to see an Arazuke pawn here? No, he's going to pass it.
I would kind of love to see 8 Soju drop here, I think.
So just kind of throw the
Oh,
7
I
so
guess they're
back.
furry 10 on the 6
Yeah.
so makes it a little hard, but I mean, having the 7-9 is so nice. Problem being, you're still furry 10 on this 18.
That's Tenpai drawn. Gonna take the Yakulis Dama here. This hand does have a lot of upgrades with the Pinzu shape. Could draw into a Pinfu here from Matthew.
Yeah, that would help it out. Increase the value just a little bit.
So like
I'd
7
imagine
pin
you're
weight
just going
just
for a
looks so
super
bad
art.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, here finally Huang gets a chance to call something
Boom.
here in the 1 pin.
Still so far off though, and without those Haku able to
Boom.
be answered, I doubt this hand is going anywhere anytime soon.
Go calling into Tenpai
Yeet.
now.
It's gonna
for-
be Tenpai.
7
We're gonna see the reach. Depends how much Huang wants to challenge. Imagine we'll see. Oh, wait a second. There's
Boom.
only one south. And it was in Huang's hands. Oh no, there was one played. Joe played one away earlier. Huang just push it, looking for 1 4-peen. Finds an alternative to the Haku Force. Problem being, there's only one 1-peen left. Is able to get played by a player. Do you even take this weight switch up?
I was just gonna stick with the 1-4 pin here.
Yeah. It's not even like 3-peen looks particularly safer as well.
Sumo.
Oh, and does find the Tsumo there on the final draw. For the Riichi Tsumadora. And all of a sudden Matthias up into first place now. All the way from 4th to 1st here on this dealership. And still going here. Does have a chance to maybe call for a Tanyo.
Yeah, not the best, but has options. Can call the 2-mon, work around the 5-6. Can even look at like Sanshoku Tanyao. Try to increase the hand value a little bit that way.
Haven't seen any of the Haku Dora yet. Matthew is a pretty interesting hand. Does have 4 pairs at the moment, 2 of them being the honor tiles. And after drawing 7-mon, you probably just go for like, well, if you want first place, like just Yakuhai is not going to be enough. You do fill in the Kanshan now. If you could get a Riichi, like Riichi Ipeko, that'd be enough on Sumo, I believe. See what Matthew wants to do if like the last tune comes out.
I mean, I don't hate just taking the calls here. It's still clunky because you're not quite at that value. You need like Toy upgrade.
Yeah, it
Which
would be a
doesn't look
call
great with
just to secure
6-8.
second if we do see the call.
I mean, you do have value upgrades. Although, if you draw 7-mon here, all of a sudden you got a nasty little reach on your hand.
What are we going to see now with the 4-pin draw? This is interesting. You could try to go for a Pinfu as well here if you want to cut like Chun Chun. Or
I
you can
almost
go
kinda wanna play
Chitoi as
into,
well.
like,
You're Chitoi Ishanten.
Onitsu.
A lot of options. It's actually going to keep like the Chitoi Ishanten with the 2-pin cut here. So this is probably the widest Ishanten because your Tenpai on the Chun, Ton, 5-pin, 3-pin, or the 7-mon.
Yeah.
Beach.
We
Oh,
actually
that
are
is
going to see a
gonna be
Riichi here
Tenpai.
now from Gimmick.
On needing just 2-mon. Not looking good.
Yeah, it's also just a Riichi Nomi as well. Not exactly
guess
ideal.
Maybe trying to hit like an Urabomb on the 9-mon, I'd
Yeah.
imagine.
Boom.
Had a chance to maybe like force a Chinitsu, but just gonna take the Ricci here. Taking a
Ooh,
Chinitsu, we do see Joe
Joe's
getting
gonna push
closer
it.
here. Yeah. He's stuck with the Dora Haku. We'll see if he's willing to push that at Senpai. I imagine if you call the 7-pin, you're interested in pushing Dora, but we'll see. We did see Matthew end up deciding to fold here. Oh, here's Tenpai. Are we going to push the Dora? And we sure are. So Chinitsu Tenpai, getting on the 4-pin, 7-pin. There's one 4-pin left and no 7-pin. So this is a 1-tile wait here. Not the best.
And
And the final 4-pin is locked up as well.
Yeah,
So he definitely swapped the toy here. Yeah, this is is value
this is
and actually now is kind of winnable.
6s locked in people's hands, still needs a 2P.
There's one 2-pin in the wall, so there is a chance for this. Uh-oh, but the 2
Don't.
comes out. I think even with direct hit, this needs an Ura here. This is just Ricci Nomi. Yeah, it doesn't hit an Ura. So I believe that's going to be not quite enough for Gimmick here. Yeah, it does come up a little bit short. So it does end up taking the 4th. But I guess Jowser in the end didn't get too punished for skipping that roll. Lost some points, but didn't end up losing any placement.
Yeah, not the worst thing. And I mean, you have such a big buffer too with where you're at. It's like you're kind of fine either way.
Right. And Matthias, though, with that final dealership, jumping all the way from 4th to 1st. So pretty big for them. And then Matthew just with the solid 2nd.
And I think what we actually might be doing is switching over to that B3 game. We have a couple people that haven't quite been on cast just yet. And it looks like the A2 table might be taking another break. I know it looks like one of the players wasn't quite ready with the start. So I think we're going to hop over there, get that situated. We'll be bringing that to you in just a second. Okay, and we are back. We are hopping in this B3 game. It was just off stream, but we did see an Epots deal-in from Silent Run, aka Wenchen, to Status, aka Scott H. Scott looking like they're having a very, very dominating game so far.
Yeah, we're get
Scott
to
currently at minus 84, so not going too well this season at the moment, but this is definitely a game that's going to push that and try to propel them into a chance of promoting.
yeah, and still East 3 here as well. Looking like maybe we missed a bit of a dealer run. Looks like Homba 3 at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, and with a door to play too. Looking like Scott could go up yet again, although Wenchen on the left, very, very good chance at outspeeding here. Has a great hand. 2 pairs, and they'll need to solve that. Or 3 pairs technically, but a lot of great shape around. Some easy cuts can cut to a lot of round men to try to challenge Scott.
You see Toyman going for Honitsu here. Oop. Sorry, I forgot to mute my phone.
Now, no one's drawing up too much. I mean, who's that? We got on the right, Damien from Richinomi shaping up quite well. Still going to be Ishan 10. But we will have yet to see.
So draw's a little bit awkward because you don't really want to get rid of the door. Although it does just then decide to throw the door here. So then he does need the value. You could have also thrown 5-pin as well. Oh no, immediately punished for discarding the door there by drawing another one.
Yeah, that's one of those where you hate when it happens, but I mean, in this play where you just kind of want to play efficiency, you've decided that you don't care as much about value and you just kind of want to speed the hand up. You just accept that that's one of the byproducts of it. Only problem is it's such a clunky hand. You gotta hit 3 round mins for Tenpai. So you're looking at trying to hit the 6-9 pin. Oh, it's gonna hit the 4 though. That's a big one. Solves one of them and opts to just kill off 8p. Don't know if I like that. I think I would much rather either just commit to dumping the 5ps or the 8 so's.
Home.
Although I guess maybe trying to commit to having Tanyausen out more and more.
リーチ
Ooh, and we are going to see the Anko by Damien. Not going to take the con, of course, because it would brick the hand shape.
Yeah, it's just gonna take the Richinomi here.
I guess kind of immediately punished, because if 7 mon was dropped, then you would be able to con the 8s, although I don't even know if you really want
Sumo.
to with a hand like this. Oh, but the Sumo will help out.
Does
And
shut
it's
down the
going to find
scary
the Ura.
Honitsu. Wow. So the Richinomi working out there for sure. Just finally shut down that dealership.
Yeah, so Scott, finally, we're on to East 4 at the cost of everybody's points around the table. Damien, the second highest right now, only needing 3,300 points in order to get back to that 30k threshold. Not a terrible hand to attempt it, but it's looking like Scott's game at the moment. Still at least 5 hands to play, but I mean, with how much of a tear it's been going on, I don't know what we missed, but I think everybody is just going to be competing for second. Maybe not even able to compete for 30K if Damien gets hit here for like something sneaky. Drops below 20.
You see the Yakuhai pickup there from Shimocha. Does now have the chance to open up the hand. Although only one left in the wall here. Three pin draw is pretty huge here. To fill in that penchant as well give you chances for Sanshoku for Kamicho.
Yeah, that'll help quite a bit. Dude, and we're also going to see Ishan 10 for Steven on the right. Going to be looking at that E-Peiko. Probably just E-Peiko Nomi, I'd imagine, if the Manzu fills out. Can also call the Hatsu. If another one, if the final comes out, just take the Dama on the 7P. Or the open on the 7P.
We see Toyman calling, trying to go for Honitsu here.
Honitsu can also go for Honitsu Toy Toy. Not a terrible option with the hand. You find 6 or 5 Mon from somebody, you might be able to get the others out. Or actually just 5 Mon. Then 2 Mon comes out, and all you need to do is wait on 9 or 4. Also have the East to kind of sneakily get another tile in there, try to trap someone with.
Sanshoku Ishan now for Kamicha. Dealer opening up here just for the Tanyo Nomi.
Yep, looking to take the quick points. It's been a minute. I can't play the Dora. I just want to get out of here. Reset myself with another hand. Try to capitalize next go around.
Kamicha deciding also to open just for the open Sanshoku here. Waiting on the Tumon, which is stuck in Toyman's hand here. It doesn't seem too likely to come out.
Yeah, I can't imagine Tumon comes out in basically any scenario. I guess maybe if you draw like
You gotta discarding 5 pin there, unless you're concerned about 5 mon danger, which I guess you could be. But 5 mon would have been much more efficient than 5 pin.
Yeah, I think you're worried about the Honitsu, but what are the odds are in Tempai after 1? The hand like that, I haven't cut any
I
Manzu.
could see being scared of 5 mon. See if dealer's scared of 5 mon or 4 mon here. He's gonna be willing to push it. Does call on the Tempai, so he's gonna decide to push this 5 mon now, I imagine. He's willing to push it now that it does have the Tempai.
Yeah, the 7P not going to be great to answer to either.
And does actually con the door and draws the deal in tile. So it didn't exactly work. At least the con didn't flip any extra Dora, so
Oh my god, it flipped more
not
Dora.
working
It
out
flipped
there.
Dora for him too. They have 7 Dora in front of that hand. He had one single draw to get away from.
Yeah,
All he needed to do was evade that con draw, and then just everybody else would have backed off. Not so lucky though.
That does have a pretty nice hand here. The does have the 1 Dora, 8 pin, as well as a couple completed shapes already. Let's draw a second Dora as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to draw another 7 or 9P to really try to capitalize off that Dora pair. But not out of the realm of possibility. You can also pick up another East and try to go for just a Yakuhai playing them.
If you really want to force the door, you do have options of like end up Tonki weight 8 pin as well, which is difficult to win but valuable if you can pull it off. It actually just decides to discard the door here. A bit surprising. Could have just thrown the east, but perhaps too scared to hold on to it.
Yeah, I think that was the idea of might as well just get it out now. And if I draw
Yeah.
the east, double east is a little bit easier and good value.
I'm just oh, and actually gonna discard the 4-pin as well. So playing this hand a little bit passively.
Ooh, looks like we could see Toy Toy to the right from Steven. Has the Norse to catch somebody off guard. Oh, but not gonna call off that.
Also just Chito Ishanten as well.
Yeah, that's true, but got the
And it would be
Anko, you got
calling
eights,
for
nines.
like Toy Toy Nomi, which is usually not a good idea.
It's true.
If you have the choice
Speaking-
between Chitoy and Toy Toy Nomi, you usually go for the Chitoy. You actually
Whoa,
see a Dama cheat or a Dama
Each.
Dama just
Dama
Ipeko.
Ipeko. Yeah, didn't want the Chitoy.
Each.
Decided they wanted the 1-2 wit.
Oh, here's gonna be the Richi Chitoy. So 3-pin weight versus 1-2-pin. The 1-2-pin weight is completely dead.
Yep, not looking great. Ooh, not even gonna opt to play Chitoy out of that and drop like 8 or 7, so very
And,
interesting.
Dealer has the 1-7 so left here. So all these weights pretty dead. It's Toyman stuck with all these dealing tiles in their hand, but as long as they're able to defend.
Yeah, I think Wenchen has a lot of stake in protecting against these reaches. Really wants Damien to take a hit here to Steven. Give them a much better chance at getting second. Still 1 3P left in the wall. 7 so completely dead.
Each.
Can't imagine that's going to get thrown, and it does not. Now we're going to reach on the 3 Mon. Hell,
Richi
wait,
chasing
one
with-
chance.
Yeah, bit surprising that we see this Richi, I'd say.
Yeah, I think
Sumo.
my only problem with it is just after all the other ones you passed up than that. But we are gonna see the Haite. Nothing else, but why need it?
Yeah, Richi
That'll be the
Tsumo
Mongon
Chitoy Haite.
anyway.
Gets the Mongon there.
I forget what Armel rule set is a 4Han Chitoy. That's not a Mongon yet, correct? It's only like 64.
Right, yeah, 64, you got it.
So very, very big Haite pickup there. Got 1600 points in value added on.
Yeah, definitely a really important win there. Finding the final 3-pin.
Yeah, able to even out the board a little bit more for a second as well. You were falling really far behind. You were at the under 10k. You're almost 20k from dealer, but now after that sumo, get a lot of reach sticks out of it, and we're able to bleed your opponents.
Really
Much,
quick hand
much
here
more
from
effectively.
Toyman. Already Ishan 10.
God, what do you do with that? Do you commit to just killing the Souths off, or
You just throw 5-mon here.
think you just surf 5-mon?
Yep. You just take a perfect Ishan 10. And you
Sure.
still have a chance to call south if you want.
Yeah, it's very, very true. Everybody else going to be looking to challenge that. Reds are dead on the board. So Dora is not going to get played this round. But people are still chasing down some value
There's
despite that.
Tenpai. And just which way do you want to reach is the only question here. You take the Champon if you want to try to greed the
Yeet.
south. Or you can just take the wider Ryamen weight.
Kinda
Looks like they
the
do go for the
Champon there.
Champon. Trying to get some value here, winning off that south.
Yeah, I think 4-7 so just kind of always looks bad to your reach tile, but if you
Come.
Shabo like this, then you might be able to get
Ooh,
somebody
and we
with
do
the
see a
south.
Khan to break the Epotsu
Go.
here, and deals in on the south.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
So at least it's not Ipatsu, but does flip Dora too, so doesn't exactly work out there.
Yeah, no Ura, but what's the point even? What does it matter if you don't hit Ura, but give him 2 more? And that is disastrous for Wenchen.
Yeah, that definitely. We've seen a couple cons this game, and they've not been too friendly to the person making the con.
Yeah, cons have been for the table, not for the player, that's for
Right.
sure.
ポン
We're gonna see the quick open up Yakuhai for Scott. Can't blame him. Also have the East to call to catch somebody off guard, or you can just play the pair if you don't find Tempai before then. Imagine probably 6-mon here.
I'm gonna start
Or
just the
1-mon.
1-mon. You could have cut 6-mon first to just to hold the safer 1-mon in hand.
ポン
Yeah.
And we're actually gonna pawn the east. I usually am not a fan of this move because like pawning away your only pair is an open hand. Like technically this hand is wider, but now you can't call Chi and have a Ryamen wait, and you also lose the
Yeah.
safety of the east. So I usually recommend not calling off your final pair when going for an open hand.
Especially when you have 2 Ryamens to play. When you have like a Kanchan or the rest of your shape's a
Right.
little ugly, then it's a bit of a different story. But like when you have these 2 beautiful Ryamens, I think you just hold steady, especially because you don't gain any value from keeping them or taking the pawn.
Dealer does have the Dora pair here if they're able to try to win this hand. Does
It's
have
gonna
a
look tough, but
yeah, it does have like a couple Conchons they have to try to deal with here.
yeah, you could potentially play like a really aggressive toy or Tanya too, which I think is what's gonna be seen. And oh my God, Scott draws double pair back to back. Just drops them in front, all Sumagiri. Still hasn't found an answer to
Ooh,
either
4-pin
of
draw is
the.
really huge for this hand here.
Oh yeah, it's so big.
Now you have Ryamen Ishanten for dealer Mongon.
Ooh, but we could see a
Yeet.
chase here, and we are gonna see the reach. Just reach Pinfu, but
Didn't
gonna
quite
be
get
on
the
1-4
Sanshoku,
mon.
but you still take it.
1-mon not looking too bad against that 2-mon. Little weird that a 2-mon comes out that late, but with only one chance 1-mon, you might risk it.
チ
Dealer definitely gonna fight here. Takes
Yeah,
the
no.
Tempai, 2-5 Mon versus 1-4 Mon.
2-5 definitely looking better. Still,
チ
wow, 2 2s, 2 5s in the wall.
Yeah, and see, well, which Mons are we gonna
Except-
choose here?
One's
Let's
dangerous,
choose the
one's
correct
not.
one, so
Ooh.
it's the 4 Mon.
We are gonna
And
see
we're
a
gonna see
counter
another
reach.
Riichi.
Imagine probably 4 peen dropped here.
Well, you have a choice, so we're gonna go 3 Mon to lock in the Ipeko here, yeah. So waiting 4-7
okay.
pin.
Makes sense. Oh, none of this looks good. I think you still gotta risk 5p, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually playing this hand pretty aggressively here.
Oh, and that's gonna
And
be
then
Don't.
1 Mon comes out. It does deal in. It does deal into the cheap hand here, just for the Riichi Pinfu. Only 2,000.
Yeah, honestly, if you're Scott there, I think paying 2,000 to rotate the dealership one is a price you're more than willing to pay.
Yeah, that's the thing about like 1 Mon is at least it doesn't deal into dealer if you read them as Tanyo.
Yeah. Very low chance of getting like double run too from both reaches. Or I guess maybe not even any, because I think 2 mons were all accounted for. And you couldn't talk you or do anything like that. So I think there was only the singular round men it could deal into.
Oh, Shimocho actually cut Forso from the 2-2-2 for 3-3-3 shape and then immediately did get punished with drawing another one. Could have been a useful shape to have, especially if you're looking to like Pawn Shun, because that shape is like it's a 4-sided weight to find a pair if you need one.
Mm-hmm.
And also you had chances at Honi too, which like if we could have these Forso pair back instead of this these Monzu Conchons, hand would be in a lot better spot. As it is, still has a
No,
good chance to
yeah.
win, but just maybe not with quite the same value.
Or maybe even the same speed. If you don't fill in those conchons, you might just opt to play something else directly. Or just directly kind of say, screw it, I'll just go for the honey two anyway. Gunman will help the speed a little bit though.
Dealer is also Ishan 10 at the moment.
I love keeping those one mods. It's definitely not the right play in this scenario, but
We saw what I think might be a slight mistake from dealer, dropping the 1-pin pair. I think I might have actually just gone 4-6 mon. This is like Tanyo. I don't know, maybe it's not a mistake, but you had chances at like
I
Sanonko.
think it's, yeah, see, that's why I wanted to do it, because like Sananko, and then
I guess
obviously
this is
Suanko
if you
upgrades
want to
and
go
all
like
that,
if you want
but
to go open hand, this is maybe better because you can open for like Tanyo Dora 1.
yeah, I think just for speed wise, this is what you want to do, and you're probably dropping the ones later anyway for like safety.
Speaking of Sanonko, we do have a Sanonko transfer Toyman reaching the Champon weight.
So that would have been Tenpai
6-0
on
Dora as well.
Suanko from dealer, or no, Ishan 10 on Suanko from dealer.
Pom.
Toy, we need 8-mon, 4-mon, 1p.
Maicha trying to fight this hand, but is stuck with that Dora 6-0 in hand, which
That
makes
is
things a
gonna
little
deal
awkward.
in. Yeah.
I imagine we don't push Dora here, but we'll see how aggressive they feel like playing.
Mhm.
They're in last place.
They're down a minute.
Dealer does make it to Tenpai here for this Tanyo Dora 1.
8-so almost completely locked up. 3 out of 4 in hand.
Come.
Oh,
Sumo.
oh,
Whoa, and finally we see a
Rin
con that works
Chakao.
out. Cod for the Rin Shan on the 8-so.
And that's going to be a big hit. And now all of a sudden Damien's Dreams is getting above 30k are going to dwindle bit by bit. And Scott is going to get another go around at continuing the dealer rampage. Just pushing further and further into first. Scott going to be looking pretty good if the game ends this way too. We're at minus 80 right now. Looks to have a chance at staying in B3. Gonna need to get to the minus 30 range most likely. And I mean, after this game, you're gonna be right there.
Looking quite good at the moment. Do have a fake Daisong again from Shimocha, which unfortunately the Hatsu are locked up.
Pom.
But we're gonna call Palm. Maybe you can still get like a Shosangen Honitsu or even just regular Honitsu.
Yeah, that Honitsu would be nice, or even just show Sangen and something else. I mean, you're expecting that you probably are gonna need to win one dealer hand anyway, no matter what. So if you're just trying to get above 30k, even like 3 Han here is huge to achieve that. Scott's finally got some ugly like Kanchan they gotta deal with too.
Chi.
Ooh, and I don't know about that Chi. It's so aggressive and it doesn't even really help the hand.
Yeah, I don't mind going Tanyo, but maybe
No,
you
but I
could skip
think
that
you
one.
would. Yeah, I think
Call,
if you
like,
hit
Boom.
a Kanchan, like if you hit a 5,
Yeah.
you take it absolutely. You snap call it, but when you're opening for this other stuff, feels a little clumsy because you still need double 5 Kanchan.
Toyman is Suanko Ishan 10.
That is true. Didn't quite work out last hand when they tried the wait, but who knows? Maybe we try again. Importantly, hold on, still 2 souths in the wall. 1 6p, so we can get that as well.
Surely you don't take this. Okay, gonna throw the 8-pin, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that might be the call. Nope, not enough. Doesn't want it.
Yeah, actually not taking the
Yeet.
not going for the toy. Oh, and wow, here we go. So we're actually just gonna go for the Cheetoy instead.
That feels like so much value loss. So
Sorry, that wasn't Suanko Ishan 10. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought there was another Anko in there.
I almost kind of like opening up for the Toy there. Even though it's Toy no, I mean, you could add the South on. It feels a little bit better. Like, The Chitoy reach here, especially on 6-mon, which is going to be kind of tough to come out, just feels so bad at the end of this. Really not a fan of playing the hand this way.
By going for the Chitoy?
Yeah.
What? I mean, you take Tempai once it comes.
Well, yeah, but that's why I kind of like opening up for a Toy if you're willing to take Chitoy. Because even shutting down everybody else's hand doesn't really do anything for you, especially if you're gonna like
Pong.
reach on the 6-mon. At least wait it for something better to come.
I think Chitoy gets too bad a rap in air.
Dum.
It's a very strong hand. But we just see the Kamicha did shut down the hand. So going into all last here. See if Damien can get above 30,000 with their last dealership.
Ooh, Scott hits the Yaku high, draw immediately. So is going to be able to call and go. Might even just go Adazuke to can drop the reds later on if needed.
I think it's a pretty important 8-so fill there. Though the hand still definitely needs some help. Tomin looking like they need like 3,000 points, so like a Ricci Tsumo would do it. I guess that would quite be enough depending on what it is. You need like a Pinfu as well.
Yeah. I mean, you could also just rely on like if you get the sumo, try and hope you hit an Uro as well.
Right. We do see a con passed for maybe the first time tonight.
I think that's objectively right. I think that con is so.
It definitely is. Kamicha's hand is so nice though with that Shunonko.
Oh
It's Ishan 10
yeah.
at the moment.
Look
Well,
at
the
it just
5-mon's a
filling
really
your
important draw for Toyman.
Yeah, I
So
kind of like.
I imagine we see Ricci here, and now you do have enough because of the you did find the Pinfu, so it does actually take over third on the Tsumo here.
You could also just hit or Steven on the right.
A direct hit would also do
another
it.
option. What would your Damien do? Check that north. It's so scary.
Is that gonna break apart this Onko?
Beach.
We do see a chase Ricci from Shimocha here as well. Trying to defend
Beach.
third place. Oh, and now Kamicha decides I've had enough of the Dama. Or I guess
No, they
hit
just got
Tempai.
Tempai and they just push Ricci.
Oh, and then the 3-pin does come out, so that's actually gonna be enough because of the Ricci stick. Now all of a sudden can take the Ron and does end up taking third place. So nice Gyok 10 there right at the end.
Yeah, disastrous for Steven. But Wenchen able to recover a little bit, still slipping much further down than they would have liked.
Yeah, does get the full plus 61 though by keeping everyone below 30,000. So yeah, really huge game there.
Yeah, it's absolutely massive for Scott. Scott from being in the demotion to C zone, now all of a sudden at minus 23, a very like comfortable spot to even just try to play for a playoff position. With how B3 works, there are going to be playoffs next week, depending on where you're placed. I don't think these graphs on the side were like the 3/4. Those are the playoff spots on paper, but depending on like hiatuses and how many spots are going to open up in the upper bracket in the upper leagues of Armel, I'd imagine we'll see them slide down probably 2 spots, maybe 3. But either way, just very solid to try to stay there.
So I think that was are they playing one more tonight? Did I say that was game 3 of 4?
Yes, I believe they're doing one more. I think it was game 1 of 4. So this is the second. I don't know if they're gonna do all 4 tonight. Not too sure about that. But they did just start another. It looks like we're gonna have to wait the Tenho timer. I believe it's about 3 minutes till we start. But after that game, I mean, honestly, Steven drops down a bit more. But Steven is going to need a couple games worth of miracles in order to get out of that demotion. Scott's now feels much more likely to be in the running. Wenshen drops a little bit. And Damien drops a couple points as well. Still not looking the worst, though. Interested to see. I mean, EV wise, no one on the board is too crazy. Wenchen looks like they're outperforming their EV much more than the people around them. Still not terrible, but could be higher. Not a very big fan of Reach, and Reaches were not working out for most of the people on the board that game. Damien, pretty good EV. Did drop a little bit. Always really interesting to kind of compare and contrast what certain players are doing. And kind of seeing similar players with similar stats and how different they are in the rankings. Noticeably, Scott has the highest average hand in B3B at the moment.
Yeah, maybe let's see what's the call rate there. That'd be
Call rate for Scott is
42%. Actually, pretty
42, which is
high.
pretty high for a 63 average. Like you're only
And-
winning 17% of the time, but
yeah, maybe like a sign of like calling for like only like forcing like Honeytsu a lot
yeah.
instead of going for cheaper hands.
Could also be a lot of like Ryukyoku calls or K10 calls. Working on that wouldn't surprise me. That's the one thing that I would kind of like to see. Obviously, it's almost impossible to get the stats to show that, but like calls for where I'm trying to actively win the hand versus calls of I'm trying to just push for K10 are very, very different. Although most of the time, even for K10, you're going to have to push something that's uncomfortable that late into the hand. It looks like we are in less than a minute getting the second game of B3B. Check really quick while Lucas tells us about the start of our hands. Try and see if I can figure out if they're doing 4 today or just 2.
Looks like we're underway here. With the dealer hand does have like a one completed shape, but maybe trying to draw into one of these Yakuhai would help the hand a lot. Does have one of the Dora here. You know, no one's hand jumps out as too fast from around the table.
No, yeah, I think the fastest hand is going to be Wenchen on the right.
Yeah.
But even their hand, not super quick at all.
You do have a chance to open for Tanya. You do have the 7-8 pin, but especially like a 6-pin Chi could look pretty good here.
Mm-hmm.
Dealer draws into a 4th pair, maybe a Chitoy. You do have the Dora, and Chitoy is a lot better when you have the Dora to go along with it.
Chi.
Yeah, I mean, I hate playing Chitoy though, especially as dealer, where you're trying to get something really fast and callable outs if you need to, even if it sacks value. And here you're just kind of at the whim of the wall.
We do see a 6-mon discard, so could maybe be a play for Chitoy holding that west.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, with your hand this far back, you might even just be thinking, let me keep tiles that are going to be safer later, because even
Actually, just
if I
goes ahead
get to
and
Tempa,
throws the Dora. That's a bit surprising. Might have tried to greed that a little bit more. Like, all you're one draw away, like drawing Dora, and all of a sudden you're like Chitoi Ishanten for
Each.
Chitoi Dora. Meanwhile, Kamicha first to Tempai here, just for Richi Ipeiko, hitting on the 4/7 Mon.
a lot of bomb chances though.
And
Dom.
actually, Ipatu dealing there now from time. So Richi Ipeiko Ipatu Ura 3.
And yeah,
And there you
there's
go,
a
you called it.
bomb. That's the Hanemon. Big hit to Scott to start off our second game.
A really strong start there, already up to 42,000. So move on to the second hand here.
Boy, Steven's even got a decent hand this go around. I was gonna say dealer Wenshen, not really finding too much. Has some good Pinzu
Each.
shape, but
But yeah, there you go.
very clunking, yeah.
Turn 3 Richi already. It is
Can't
just going to
hate
be
that.
Richi Nomi,
5-8.
but yeah,
I
good
mean,
rate
when
Richi
you're on
Nomi.
5-8 that quick, might as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Snuff everybody else's hands out. What's the point in giving them more time to do whatever they are trying to do? Just take your 1k, go to the next hand, speed it up. Still 2 5s, 2 8s in the wall, looking at 4 tiles. Interestingly enough, 8's not super playable. Well, I guess 8's playable to everybody, but 5, if Scott draws it, he might just drop it. Wouldn't surprise me, especially if they try to chase value in order to try to catch up and mitigate that first hand. Still stay really competitive for a first.
Does seem like Shimocho's interested in pushing at least a little bit to discard that 2-mon last turn. Seems they're interested in trying to fight this. You do have safe tiles here, like you could just throw the 8-mon back. But no, yeah, just gonna go ahead and discard the 9-so. So I guess trying to shut down this Richi here. Oh, and actually draws the
Each.
8-so, so
Ooh.
I guess you take the Richi here. It is just gonna be another Richi Nomi here. Waiting on the 7-mon.
7-mon. Every player has one right now.
Richi.
I don't think anybody's going to be dropping any of them.
Comes another Chase Richi. This one
On
does
the
have a Dora,
8-mon.
but it's another bad weight. The
Dom.
8-mon, and the
Oh,
8-mon
is
does
it?
come out.
Yeah.
The final 8-mon from the wall. Stealing to the dealer Richi there. Richi
Naughty
Dora 1.
pots, but 3,900, that's a bit. And if you're Scott and you're already down, that is not a 3,900 you're going to want to pay.
It does have a pretty nice hand here. It has 3 Briamen to work with. Picks up a Dora 1-mon as well. So pretty nice dealer hand here.
Yeah, I got a nice little Pinfu out here. Definitely looking for 2-mon, I'd imagine. Try to play the Dora. But we'll see.
That's drawn to Ishanten here.
Gonna be really interested to see if Damien on the left decides to force a Honitsu out of this.
It does just have the one Kanchan at the moment. Yeah, here comes the 8-pin draw. This will probably be the time if you want to go for it, but it's just going to go ahead and cut the Haku. Oh, draws the perfect tile on the 2-mon, giving you the Pinfu as well as using that 1-mon Dora here. Just get the Richi Pinfu Dora 1 for dealer. Waiting on the 5/8 pin. 3 of those 8-pin are locked up in Kamicha's hand. Still 1 8-pin in the wall as well as 2 of the 5-pin.
It's not too terrible. You have almost 2 players also just opting to not play any Pinzu at all. So even as dealer, getting those 2 folds out is going to be really, really important.
I think
Gonna do
Kamicha's
very
going to
good
fight
things.
here. They are Ishanten.
Could, I mean, 2-mon's not terrible. Really, doesn't trust Suji that early. I mean, with a 3 mon to buffer the 5-2, even though it's around Dora, I think you just gotta risk it.
I probably just would have
Oh,
discarded the
2 mon was safe,
west.
actually. 2 mon was checked by Scott immediately after reach. But yeah, west also looking very, very safe.
It's like a bit of a push with being Stompai on the board, but did have a pretty nice Kutsuki Shanten.
What are you gonna do about 7? So it's Tempai, reach on the 3-pin, not a great way. Doesn't even want to take it.
Yeah, it's not gonna go west-west here. Try to Mawashi for maybe a Tanyao.
リーチ
Problem is, you're gonna need to cut an 8-pin in order to get that pair if you don't draw into
Shimocha
something
did draw on the
else.
Tempai and took a Ricci just waiting on the Sanzo here. The
Could try
Ricci
to-
Ipeko. Does have a Suji trap, but let's see,
and
this
this'll
Flaming Head
probably be
tiles to fold
dealing.
with here. You could go. You have like 9/9, so yeah, you have plenty of safety.
Yeah.
Although is Chito Ishanten, but no, yeah, just gonna go 9/9. So could have got baited into maybe pushing 3-so for Ishanten.
Oh, that's Tempai on
リーチ
Tanyao Ipeko.
It does take the Ricci for it as
Just
well.
ops to Taki actually on the Furry 10-7, so not
つも
Oh my god, they would have hit Epod Sumo on the Tanya if they would have trusted the 7, so no, and double Ura
Oh
on
wow!
the West.
For the dealer
Wen Chen.
Hanimon.
Punishing that
Yep.
that decision for what the Taki was gonna be.
And are we gonna see
Oh,
another
man.
game like last one with the possible dealer running away with it in East 2 again?
I mean, Steven is holding on right now. They're at 34. And this doesn't seem like a great hand for Wen Chen. Does have double Doro, loaded pair in the hand. Not the most usable hand to play around it though.
You could maybe go open Sanshoku here.
It doesn't look terrible, but I mean, having to drop one of those 9Ps and then you have like a 4-6 Kanchan definitely doesn't feel great.
Oh, Toyman's hand is already Kutsuki Ishanten at the moment, so definitely looks like the fastest hand at the table.
Oh yeah. No value, but again, if you can just get a quick out, try to push Wen Chen off, especially when you still have a dealership too. It'll make it much, much easier to catch.
リーチ
There's the Tempai on the Champon, just 9-pin
Oh,
9-so.
Dirty.
9-pin.
Suji too.
Oh yeah, this 9-pin actually is probably going to come out from dealer here. You have a pair of them, and just Suji did the 6-pin. At least didn't deal in the Epot too, but like I imagine 9-pin
Don't.
just comes out here, and there it is. So it's just reaching on me. Doesn't hit any Ura, so picks up the 1900.
Yeah, you're not too upset with that. Could have been much, much worse.
See what dealer can do with this hand here. It does have the Chun pair with Dora 1. Could possibly open up for a quick hand.
Has the options. Monzu are drawn a little bit clunky, but yeah, you get that red super quick. Might just open up, take your 2 Han and go.
You see one of the Chun in Toyman's hand. See how long they end up holding it for.
I mean, Damien almost feels like they want to flirt around with Honitsu with
They
the
definitely-
1-mon drop into the east. Although maybe not after that.
Yeah, you have like the Ryamen and Sozu with the 2-3-so, so
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go for a more normal hand.
I don't know about keeping those Yakuai then. Like 3 is just so many, you know what I mean? I know they're unchecked to the rest of the board, but you're gonna have to drop them at some point.
Yeah, well,
unless you
really,
just wanna
like
not play
hadn't
the
dropped
hand.
anything too useful to the hand. We do see the Chun finally come out, and dealer does call in the Tempai here. Just waiting on the 4-7 mon.
Oh, and this will do it.
No,
Almost
we're gonna just drop a
guaranteed.
Yakuhai here. Oh, actually,
Don't.
no, the 7-mon does come out. That's surprising.
No, they cut the 1-mon earlier with the 3-away shape, the Suji shape, so they're just gonna do the same thing there.
Yeah, well, 1-mon's quite a bit different than 7-mon, because like
You're not
1
wrong,
4-mon is
but
very useful. Isn't very useful, but like 4 7-mon, it's a little bit of overlap, but it's really not too bad. You can still draw like 6-mon or 8-mon to get a Ryom in.
yeah, I think the idea is too that you're not expecting dealer to be there, so it's kind of just a sneaky tenpai that got under you.
Either way, we do move on to the next hand here. See if dealer can
Home.
maybe start to put together a little bit of a run to try to recover some of these points.
Yeah, not a bad hand to do it. You draw, well, I guess you don't have the overlap three-sided for the Manzu, but despite that, you still have a pretty decent hand going up. I guess there is some Bizarro world too, where you end up dropping double 1-mon and can try to get like a Tanya squeezed out of it. Although I doubt we'll end the hand there. Steven's got something to say though. South, east to call in pocket. Could potentially even go towards like a Chanta. This could be a lot of points.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to get Chanta. You need like another pair. And
Yeah,
open Chanta isn't usually
it's
worth
only one
the
mon,
points.
yeah. Oh boy, this is a hand shape. Maybe double 1-mon.
Kamicha had the chance to like keep some of these floating tiles to try to improve this Ishan 10. Like, oh, it is Tenpai now? Like, do you even want this Tenpai though? I guess, I mean, it's Dora 1. You might as well take it. It's actually just gonna Dama. 6-mon
Yeah,
weight,
Pivu
3-tile
upgrades.
weight. Yeah, if you weren't gonna Ricci this Kanchan, I feel like we should have kept like the 4-pin floating
Each.
tile.
Yeah.
And we do see Ricci from Toyman. Just gonna take the
Maybe see the chase here.
Kanchan Ricci. Decided to wait one turn to try to Katagiri Ricci the next turn. Trying to hide that Suji trap. It is a Ricci Sanshoku. So I don't know if anyone's gonna fall for the Dora Suji, but if they do, it's gonna be a painful dealing.
Yeah, that one's gonna hurt. I mean, importantly, there's still one to draw, and it's kind of overlapping for everybody. Except for Steven. Steven could probably play 2. With 1, 3, 3, 4. That's about it. Could also see Tenpai taken here on
This is a wider weight here. If you Ricci with 5-mon, it's still gonna take the Dama, but
I mean, I think that's about the best way you're gonna get 1-4 out of this.
Chi.
I guess the 1-so is twice cut, so it's only actually like a 2-tile weight. So not actually that good.
I mean, what do you even upgrade to though, you know?
I think the idea is you just fold when you draw something dangerous.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not worth the points put in. No point in challenging the reach. You're you're outclassed by. Importantly, another East has not been drawn either, so now Steven might be thinking about trying to push back. Go more towards folding.
Dealer's still trying to look for Tenpai here.
Yeah, I think the calls are gonna go unanswered though. Only draw I see here, or only drop I see here is 8-so doing it, but
Kang.
not gonna end up happening.
Oh, whoa. We see a con called.
I get that to try to get that extra tile, but I don't think it's worth it.
Wait. I don't remember what the draw off the con was. I wasn't expecting a con.
It was
there.
9-so. So not even something that was helpful to you. I think they were looking to try to like fill in, either get 5-so or 8-so.
I don't even. Was it even possible to get Tenpai after the con?
Yeah, if you hit, I think literally just 5-so or 8-so, then I think you got Tenpai. Technically, I could be wrong on that though. No, it was 5 or 8-so, yeah, because they had like 4, 5, 5, 6, 8, 8, and then like a floating 6-mon or something. So it did give him an extra chance, but running all that extra risk seems not worth it to me.
Yeah,
Especially because I think Haite ended up on 1 Shen in reach, which you never want to give.
I don't remember what the hand was at the time. Didn't catch it as it happened. And the East 4 here. Dealer's hand does have 1 Dora, but has some difficult conchons to try to fill here. Getting that 6-mon in the 4-so. Picks up a 9-pin to try to get an Epiko chance now.
Yeah, try to add a little bit more speed with the hand, but it kind of just seems like everybody's moping around. Although that 3-so is an absolutely massive hit. Gonna even opt to kill the Conchon after that.
And is Ishan 10, although it's a bit of an awkward Ishan 10.
Yeah.
Like 4, 6, 7.
リーチ
The 4, 6, 7, 8 shape is a bit awkward. Or what is it? I don't know. It's a, I guess 4, 6, 8, 9 would be the way to look at it.
Yeah. Oh, and if they would have waited 1 turn, would have been able to take the 3-6.
Yeah, but
Would have
you
been
just
able to
get
have a
the
little bit wider.
dealer
But your
door 1
dealer-
senpai.
No, yeah,
Just
he'll
take
just
it.
slam the button, try to scare everybody else off.
チ
Although
Trying to
nobody's
fight
really
here
backing
with the
away.
yeah, trying to shut it down with the Tanyo.
Mention thinking about pawning this, trying to drop a 9-mon, is going to do so. Now looking at 5-8, so Tenpai. Looks like 1 in the wall for 8, 2 for 5.
8-so is pretty loose in Shimocha's hand.
Yeah,
If
I
they do
wouldn't be
decide
surprised
to
if that
continue to
comes
push
out.
forward.
Probably 3-mon first, though.
Well, 3-mon doesn't really look that safe, although it does come out.
I mean, 8 doesn't look that much better. At least 3-mon, you have the Suji on your Shimocha. Even though that's not the hand you really care about dealing into.
Shimocha
Might
trying to
just
figure out how to
fold.
defend here. Goes with the 4-pin. He's Nakasuji.
Yeah, with 258 being completely unchecked too, I don't even want to think about getting any of those Pinzu out.
Koiman unwilling to push the 2-so. So it decides just to fold with the 4-so. Kamicha thinking about a call here.
チ
He's gonna go for it.
Does have double 9 to drop, or can just play for K10. Still needs a little bit of help. Gonna need 7-pin or, well, 4 7-pin.
Just gonna go with a pretty aggressive 4-mon push. I believe that's the 4-7 Suji was still live next to the Dora.
Yeah.
And bit of an aggressive call for not even Tenpai.
Yeah, see, now you're backed out of it anyway. Nothing to do.
Oh, there's the final 6-on drawn. Looks like it's gonna go to exhaustive here. So it does get the 3,000 points and continues the dealership. It's an alright starting hand here. Does have a couple of Ryamen to work with. Has that 1 door, 2 mon, although it does need a 3 mon to try to fill that Kanchan. Shimocha's hand looks quite nice. Already has 2 completed Monzu. Could maybe go for an open Tanyo if you want.
Yeah, even you get a little bit of shape around that Sozu. Not that Tuso, but a little bit of shape around there and you're looking just fine.
Well, I actually think discarding Tuso is a pretty big mistake, keeping that north, because like Tuso is your chance at Sanshoku draws if you pick
No,
up like
yeah.
a 3-so.
Or at least just hitting the 8 before that.
Right. I just don't think you really need to hold the north.
I mean, I think the argument for it is it's safe to the, like 100% safe to dealer later on, so it's your safe tile. But again, if you're going to keep a safe tile, like I still think you do the 8 before the 2. And you probably just drop it here anyway. Like 3 draws in, and like with your hand shape being this good, I don't really see needing a safe tile.
I mean, discard the
Each.
3 mon.
And
Okay,
that would have
here's
been
the Richi from Shimocha.
Sanshoku.
Yeah.
Same weight.
Instead, just gonna Richi the Tanyo door 1.
Not too bad. I almost kind of like to see a Dama, but
This is enough value to go for. Unless you're like Damada hoping to draw back like one of the 2-sos, but Richi Tanyo door 1 is just good value.
yeah, but it's a hard wit. You kind of need a 6-pin to hit the board in order to try to get this, I think.
Well, you can try to Tsumo, right?
Yeah, but with only 4 tiles and you're assuming 1 or 2 are already out, it's a tough sell. Well, the dealer might just play into it. 3-pin looking very, very loose.
Yeah, if Tenpai is drawn, I imagine 3-pin will be pushed.
Yeah, the hand shape's so good here. I can't imagine you're passing it up.
We can discard 3-so first. Although there is Tenpai
Each.
drawn, and yep, there's the
Yep.
3-pin Richi.
That'll be
Don't.
the dealing.
So it does make a nice Richi Tanyo Dora. An Ura for the Mongon. But no, it still picks up a nice, decent 5,200 points.
But with the 5-so drops, would have been the Mongon.
Yeah, if you Sanshoku
You get the
could have added
Sanshoku.
quite a bit of value
Mongon
there.
free, yeah. Hanuman chance at that point. On any upgrades to Tsumo or Ura.
Not a fan of this 8-mon discard either. I think this hand should have been Honitsu here with the 2 honor pairs.
Yeah, alright. I mean, I think even just like Honitsu as a backup and taking the West there is
The
right.
draws
It's
have
what you
worked
wanna
out that
do.
it's looking like it can just be a regular hand.
Yeah.
But I think that 8-mon and turn 1 is a little hasty. Although it's now sitting with a nice like Ryamen shape.
Only problem is Shabo looking very, very bad here. You have double West out already, so now if you take a Shabo, it's effectively just a Tonki -1.
You can call the south though and just open up for
Oh,
a
yeah.
Yaku High.
That's the nice part about the hand.
I'm deciding what shape to break here. Probably 1 3-mon would make the most sense, and that is what they go for. Keeping the Dora Kanchan with the 5-7 pin, as well as the Ipiko chance. 1 2-so. And does end up drawing into the Anko with the 9 pin as well. So is now headless Anko Ishan 10.
I mean, you find 3-so and you drop 5-pin and you got yourself a nice little weight.
Yeah.
Already got some 8s on the board. You can even incorporate another Dora.
Pretty nice Ishan 10, for sure.
Yeah, you're not thrilled if you solved that before and have to get the 3-so. But I guess also if you hit like 6-pin, you could also take the 1 2-so Shabo.
Home.
Actually, never mind. That looks pretty bad with double 2-so on the board.
You would probably just drop 9 pin and take the 3-so Ipiko.
Yeah. And dealer gonna find Tempai looking for 2-5, so it's just gonna open up for the south, sack all the value, can draw a Dora and drop 4-peen if they really want.
Yeah, you really have to call that south though because the west were dead.
No, yeah, you gotta just take
Oh,
it
here's
there.
Tempai. And I imagine we are going to see 5-pin Ricci here.
Yeah.
1
Actually going to go for the
Oh.
6-pin Conchon weight instead.
That, you know what? I actually don't hate that.
I hate it, but that's alright.
I think
see
it's
if it works.
wrong, but I don't hate it. I think the 5P was definitely better there. But I don't necessarily disagree with trying to just trap with the Conchon.
It is a Suji trap. That is true, but Suji trap
But
like
yeah,
on the door
incorporating the
indicator.
second door, yeah, it's on the door indicator, and like you don't get to play another Dora dropped on the table.
And
think
like if
definitely.
you drop with like Ricci of 5-pin is also Suji trapped as well. You see the Amon come out, but that is Yaku-less Tempai.
Yeah, probably looking for a Pinfu, I'd imagine.
Or just K10 at this point late in the round.
Yeah, with 13 left, just play safe, give yourself full flexibility.
Not gonna discard the 1-mon to keep Tempai.
Interesting with it being Genbutsu and looking pretty good against the dealer. Well, we have another chance. Let's
You
think
can
through it.
undo it. Undo.
You
mon this
drew
time.
that tile. The game said, "Hold on, you sure you want to
Yeah,
drop
there
that?"
we go. There we
Yeah,
go.
and we're
Undo
gonna do
button.
it.
Oh, and there's the 8-pin
Each.
sumo. Oh no.
4
Ah, the
Instead,
five comes
instead
out
dealer
for
takes the
dealer.
win.
I think everybody is learning from this game that you should take the Tempai. That's your first gut instinct, or take maybe the greedier Tempai, because that's the second time now we've seen a Tempai like not taken or reached on, or a greedier
Home.
route and it gets passed up, and then somebody else on the board gets points.
I'd like to see again, like maybe hedging a bit more towards Honitsu with like a 2-mon discard before the 7-pin. Whenever you have like
Yeah.
2 Yakuhai pairs, it's just like, you know, you could like Yakuhai, Honitsu, Dora, Hanimon or something.
Yeah, especially when it's like the Dora suit is your best Honitsu chance, and it's like 2-6 does nothing. Like 6 you might be able to draw around, you can get like Sanchoku outs, you can kind of play around with it a little bit. But like 2-mon is doing nothing for this hand, like at all.
Shimocha already Ishan 10 for Tanya.
Gee.
Could call the Tempai right here and is actually just going to take it.
Yeah,
So just take the 5-8 so weight here.
I agree with that. You're at 54, you don't really care anything about just progressing the game.
Yeah,
You want to
that's
get
fair.
Damien.
Especially
as
like seeing dealer
close to
make some
30
calls.
in.
Just try to shut it down.
Yeah, that's true. This could be dealer Mangan for how it looks at the board.
つも
Oh,
There's the
Sumo
8
comes.
Sumo.
I see the deal.
So just moving the game along here. Does actually drop everyone below 30,000 for the moment. And wow, really nice dealer hand. Let's see the Honitsu. Come on, 7-so. There we go. Finally someone commits to the Honitsu. Love to see it.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. I like 9-so before 7-so in cases like these because you at least get a little bit more time to where your hands like the
Maybe,
two.
but this hand is just like it is just Honitsu. There's
I
no
think
way
you
this isn't
definitely gotta play a
Honitsu.
Honitsu. Yeah. I mean, like, maybe you see the South come out, you want to drop the
Boom.
South too, really try and go like, okay, guys, I'm not doing Honitsu, no honor shenanigans.
Whoa, 5-mon.
I
Trying to hide
don't
it.
like that.
Yeah, you're missing a block here is the issue.
That 5-mon's so big too. It's so
Yeah.
close to Dora.
I would be okay with
5-mon's not
this
the right one.
if you
If
already
it was like
had-
a hanging 2 or something and you had the rest of your shape, maybe, but
If you already had your 5 blocks set, I'd be more okay with this. But now I guess you're just hoping to try to pair up one of these honors.
yeah, especially when you have like an Itsu possibility too. 5-mon's just so good.
Yeah, like look, if we had 5-mon
Um,
here, we'd actually be 2-shan 10. Either way.
Yeah, I think the problem with trying to fake that like Honitsu suit too is that it just you draw any of the suit that you don't need and all
Oh
of a sudden
man,
people know
and this
exactly
is
what
this is
you're
where it
doing.
starts to backfire. Could be Ishan
Yeah.
10. Still a nice hand though. You know, it can definitely still win.
Not too bad. Maybe they were looking for a Chanta. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
I
kinda what
think
that
you're
5-mon
right. I think they
reminds
were
me
just
of.
trying to disguise the Honitsu, but I feel like this is a hand, like this hand's an example of why it's just not worth trying to disguise.
1
You just hurt your efficiency too much. Meanwhile,
Especially
Toyman
when
does
you're,
reach
like, dealer,
Tempai, going for
just
the
3
Ipe.
so.
Ko.
1
not great, but it is something. And you know, dealer's probably not playing it.
Could
Only
be in the
problem is you
awkward
give an
spot
ace
where
to
you
the
end up
dealer.
free 10 here. Although you could always just Tonky Tune instead.
Yeah, target tune's not terrible. Looks bad to everybody else.
1
But...
And another Ricci here.
Wow. And North Red being dangerous is super dash. Oh, that's the deal in.
Don't.
And there, yep, Chun comes out. So
Ipods.
Ipatsu dealing. Ricci, Ipatsu, Chun.
All of a sudden, one Chen looking tough. Doesn't hit an Ur though, so not the Mangan. Very, very important. Just saved 2,700 points with that Ur miss.
Does get above 30,000 though, so pretty important win.
Oh yeah, huge, huge win for Damien there.
Dealer deciding not to greed the Dory here. Instead favoring the South Yakuhai.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of like keeping the 9. This feels close enough to Chanta, especially when you have double pair. And you get a couple other outs. I don't like
Shimocha-
keeping, I don't know.
Shimocha already Ishan 10. Could try to get themselves above 30,000. Chances at
Home.
Ipeko. Tommy calling the West Yakuhai. 7 so draw is really big here for dealer. Gonna go drop the 7
Each.
so.
I love it. We greed just a little bit.
Does get the 6-mon draw, so it doesn't get the Ipeko, but Shimo is gonna just take the Richinomi here.
Oh, I love it. Come on, let's see Tuso out. Or yeah, 3-mon, just get it out of the way. We're playing this hand of completion. Let's go, Scott. Let us not be persuaded by the
Oh, and
full
Sumo
melt.
also, that's pretty big, does get them above 30,000. So quite an
Yep.
important Sumo there for Shimocho.
It's a big hit. Now, as long as you cannot deal into anybody, if you have somebody else play into another hand, South
Yeah,
4,
you'd
you are
like a
able
little
to stay
bit,
above 30.
a little bit more of a buffer, because like any Sumo and you probably drop down below 30,000 again.
No,
So
yeah, you get one hand and you're past Damien too. All
Yep.
of a sudden you're getting that 5 Uma. It's very, very big.
and yeah, not the worst hand to try to do it with. It's 2 Shanten. Now Ishan moving into Ishanten already. Although actually decides not to take the Ishanten, cutting the 7 so. Not sure what the idea there is, because I'm not sure what the Yakuhai do for you. Maybe like deciding that they're unwilling to take a bad weight Ricci, but like even then you can draw 6
Home.
and get the Pinfu. Oh, not taking the 7 pin either.
I guess really trying to opt to have safer outs later.
Yeah, I'm not too
Maybe.
sure.
But
Okay, well another chance at Ishanten does take it this time.
ooh,
Could have had the
now
Onko. That's alright.
it's okay. Shabo's not terrible. Although
Well,
1-4
it's
reach here would have been pretty good.
Yeah.
1-4-star reach would have been real nice. No one's denying that. We're gonna see what Scott does. I might even like from Scott here to just drop like 5. Try to maybe hit a toy angle and then just try to hit a con bomb. I think that's one of your better outs. Although dragging Steven below 30 is net +6.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty big deal. Now with the 1-mon out, all of a sudden that Shabo of 7 so 1-mon. I guess it's free 10 anyway, so you wouldn't take it. Double 6-0 on the board. It looks like it is falling apart for dealer. Luckily though, Wen Chen still trying to challenge, but not able to do so yet.
ポン
Damien, not really too much invested either in those terms. Does have an E2 out though, so can call open.
チー
And we are
There
going to
you
see
go.
Damien go down that route. Gonna be tough to get past post, but still doable.
Senpai for Kamicha. Looking to just maybe try to end this game.
Will importantly need to hit a sumo though.
True. Yeah, if you want to drop dealer below 30,000.
Yep,
Direct hit also would
or
work.
sumo. Yeah.
Dealer had the chance to call into Senpai for K10, but still hoping to try to complete this hand.
Yeah, it's a little far too.
I think because
I
your
don't really
hand's like
love it.
so difficult to complete, I would just call that. Like that was the third
Yeah.
6-0. Now there's just one 6-0 remaining.
Oh, just drop double 1-mon. Easy.
Kamicha actually breaking Senpai on the 4-mon draw. So seems like the plan was not to try to Tsumo. Maybe trying to force
Khan.
a Toy Toy, but oh, Khan. Oh, okay. Well, now you have Toy Toy Senpai.
Yeah, again, trying to get a com bomb, really increase the value. Can now also try to threaten Damien as well with that. A run on Damien, I think, is enough, right? Got the 3 Han.
To overtake now.
Oh, is
You're
it
just
just
stuck in
shy?
fourth
You're
here.
at 42. Now here's the problem. Steven's not gonna find Tempai, so they're gonna get bled with Ryukyoku payments
Yeah.
down below.
That's kind of the issue with not calling that 6-0 when you had the chance. And looks like that is how this game will end. Just Kamicha only one in Senpai here. And so at least you don't get the absolute worst case Uma, but still minus 38 is not what you're looking for.
Yeah, especially after you had that great catch up with your previous verse. Now you're kind of dropped back into where you were in the standings. Now you're into that demotion range again. I mean, you still have 2 games to play this session, as well as some of the people who you're kind of playing around in 4. So still wiggle room to try to get to that playoff spot, but definitely not the ending to the night you were hoping for.
And looks like they haven't started another game, so I don't know if that was their
No, it
last
looks
games
like,
of the night.
yeah, it looks like they're scheduled to play 2 tomorrow. And I'm not 100% sure who we're going to be covering tomorrow on stream just yet, but there is a chance we might be able to see the tail ends of this game of 4. Would not surprise me one bit.
Yeah, I think that'll be our last game of the night then. Doesn't look like anyone else is playing at the moment.
And B3, kind of looking at these standings here. B3B looks pretty set. It looks like just who in that like minus 60 to 30 range is going to get the playoff spots and be above it. And then past that, who is going to kind of jump up to these promotion spots, which is also a bit of a fight for. It looks like those playoff spots are going to be very, very contested and hard fought for. Right now the line's on plus 101, but again, after this session concludes and we have our full calculation of how many players are going to be in for next season and how do we need to shift the standings to affect everything and all that, I would imagine cutoff line is going to be like probably 80 for the playoff spots.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. Just wrapping up the end of this season here. Not too many games left to be played.
No, this is the last week for B3B too, actually, because of how the playoffs are working. So it's make or break it So again, you're assuming these might wiggle down maybe 1 or 2 spots, but you're really trying to end up on those lines that are laid out in the standings. Really trying to just capitalize on those and know that things might move down, but they definitely will not move up. So you're safe if you can at least get to that post.
Yeah, well, I think that'll do it for us unless you have anything else.
I think that might do it for tonight. It might just be a short one. There's going to be a lot of streams happening this week. We have another Wednesday tomorrow, of course. Every Wednesday we're on, and I think we're trying to also put together a Thursday and potentially even a Friday. So we're looking to get a ton of games casted. And then, of course, next week in session 6, that's everything's just going to start getting crazy. Playoff week and session 6 where everyone's trying to solidify their statements. There's always a ton of streams that week. The most exciting session for sure during the Armel season. But I'll continue. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say these final games of the season are always the most exciting to watch. Just so much on the line.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to see who's going to end up staying where they're at, who's going to sneak into promotion, and who's going to fall down into a previous league and have to climb back up. Everything's on the line all season, but it is especially prevalent to you in that last session. But I think that is going to do it. Thanks everybody for tuning in, giving us a watch. I know we had a bit of a delay to start. Happens from time to time. Make sure if you're looking to get some more Reachy action, sign up for Spring League. Guys, we're getting towards the deadline. I think we got another week and a half to sign up to get into our Spring League. You'll start out in the new C1 League. Never too late to start. Always a fun time. We have a Twitter. It's at American Reachy. We got a website, americanreachy.org. You can look up more info on joining the league as well as what we do, all that fun stuff. And let's say you want to watch a VOD. You either want to watch this VOD, you want to watch past VODs, you want to watch our championship games. We had the first championship of Armel just a couple weeks back. You're going to want to go to tinyurl.com/ArmelYT. And that's going to have all those wonderful videos for everybody in the past. But that will do it. Want to thank Lucas for helping commentate. Always a blast. And I also want to thank Josh for running things from the cupboard tonight. Always nice to have broadcast directors step up and kind of take a more back-end role. Help make things run along. Got any final words, Lucas? Any final gifts?
Yeah, thanks for joining me in commentary. It was fun getting to watch some games, and yeah, good night, everybody.
Yeah, take care, everyone.